guys, welcome on ITS, Information Technology Skills. On this video, we're going to talk about label and message widget in Tkinter. So I think you already use label on your programs because that is one of the common things that we need when we create a GUI. But how about the message? Okay, so let's start. First, let's have the definition of a label. It is used to provide a single line caption for other widgets, while the message, it is used to display multi-line text field and it automatically wrap the text. Okay, so if you're going to observe, the definition for label is used for single line caption, while for the message, it is multi-line. So how it become multi-line? Because it automatically wrap the text. So for this video, we're going to use the label frame. What is a label frame? It is a frame used to contain widget. Okay, so basically, it is a container for widgets wherein we can arrange our GUI there. Okay, so let's have the program. So if you're going to observe, guys, on my IDLE, I already have the codes for creating a window using Tkinter. So we have here from Tkinter import as3 to import all the packages for Tkinter. Then we have here the name of the window or the form is window. Then of course we have the main loop. Okay, so the name of my form is window. So we're going to start our code at the bottom of window equals tk parentheses. Okay. Okay guys, to start the label, we need the label name, of course. Okay, the name of the label is my label. You can have other variable names for that. Then next is the widget. Okay, so the widget that we're going to use is of course label. Then inside the parentheses, we're going to place there the text. Okay, so let's try the text, guys. The quick brown fox jumps over the head of the lazy dog. Okay, so we have here wrong spelling, brown fox jumps over the head of the lazy dog. I think that is good enough. Then after that, of course, we need to place that on our window. Okay, so let's have my label that pack. So for this video, guys, we're going to use pack method to place our widgets on our window. Okay, so let's try to run this program. So if you're going to observe, guys, we have here our label, okay, which has the quick brown fox jumps over the head of the lazy dog. So now, guys, let's try to copy and paste this one. Then we're going to change this into message. And of course, to remove redundancy, let's change my label into my message. Then let's pack this my message. Okay, now let's try to run this program. So now, guys, if you're going to observe, we have two texts which has the quick brown fox jumps over the head of the lazy dog. Okay, so the first one, this is the label. If you're going to observe, the text is being displayed on a single line, while the other text, it is being wrapped. Okay, so to better view the text or to separate the two messages or text, let's use the label frame. So let's have here L1 for the first label frame. Okay, so let's have a text for this as label. Let's place this on our window using the pack function. So because we are using the label frame now, guys, let's place here the area or where we're going to place the label. Okay, so we're going to place our widget now inside the label frame. Okay, so we're going to place here L1, then comma our text. Okay, so it indicates that the my label will be placed on L1 label frame. Okay, so let's try. So now, guys, if you're going to observe, our text, the quick brown fox jumps over the head of the lazy dog, is being placed inside the label frame. So same with the message, we're going to create another label frame for this. Let's name this as L2. Then the text for this is message. So after creating the L2 label frame, we're going to pack that on our window. So let's have L2.pack. So same with my label widget, we're going to place this message widget inside L2. Okay, so this is capital L. So let's have here L2 to indicate that our message widget will be placed inside L2 label frame. Now let's try to run this program. So this will be our output. If you're going to observe, they have separate frame because this is for the label and this is for the message. Same, the display of text for the label is for single line text, while for the message, it wraps the message depending on the size of the container or the size of your message. Okay, so we can change the size or the wrap of your message in the message widget. So how to do that? We have the property width. Here on the message widget, let's add the property width. So we have width, let's try 70, comma, let's enter this one. You can have enter for this one so that you can place other properties of the widget here. Okay, so that is accepted. Then here for the label, let's also add width. Okay, so same, that is 70. Let's try 70. So now guys, we have here width equals 70 for the label. Same, we have width equals 70 for the message. Then let's observe the output. So if you're going to observe guys, the width for the label becomes longer while the width for the message becomes shorter. So what are their differences? If we use width property on label, it indicates the number of characters that it can display on a single line. So it means that for the label, it accepts or it will display 70 characters of the text, while the message, it is on pixel. So it means that the width of the message is 70 pixels. So now guys, let's try to change the width to 150. Same for the message, that is 150. Then let's observe the output. Observe, the width for the label becomes longer again. Okay, so it means that it accepts or it will display 150 characters from the text. So let's try to change the width of the label. Let's try 10, then observe the output. So now guys, if you're going to observe, it will not display the full text if the width of the label is being minimized. But if you're not going to place the width of a label, the default is to display all the text, of course. So that is the use of label and a message. For the label, it will display a single line text, while message, it will display multi-line text and it will automatically wrap the text. Now let's have the other options that can be placed inside the parentheses of label and message. Okay, so first we have BG. Okay, so BG is used to change the background color. So let's try BG on label first. Okay, so we have here BG equals blue. So let's remove the width for that, okay, to display all the text of the label. Then let's try to run again the program. So now guys, observe, the color of our label is color blue because that is being indicated on our BG. Okay, so you can use the word or you can also use the hexa value of color. So let's try F. So for the hexa value of the color, it always starts with a sharp symbol. Okay, so let's have the F. Then observe the output. So if you're going to observe, the color of our background now is color white. Okay, so F is the present of all colors. So that is white. So if we change this into 0, absent of all colors, the color must be black. Okay, so the background is color black. You can also use BG on a message. So let's try. Let's just cut this one, then place it on our message. And of course, our message widget become color black. Okay, so let's remove the BG option. Next option, we have BD. BD is to indicate the size of the border. The default is 2 pixels, so we can change the BD or the border size. Okay, so let's have first BD on our label. Let's try 40. It means that the border will be 40 pixel. Then observe the output. Okay, so if you're going to observe, the size of the label frame become much bigger because the border of our label is 40 pixel. So it has 40 pixel, 40 pixel, 40 pixel, and 40 pixel here. Okay, so on all sides of its border, it has a 40 pixel. So same, we can also use that on our message. We can just cut this one and place it here on our message widget, then observe the output. So same, if you're going to observe, it has a distance from its label frame. Okay, so that is the BD option. Next option we have is the cursor. It changes the cursor or your pointer if it is on the message or on the text. Okay, so we can have arrow as our default, dot, and other options for the cursor. So now let's try this on our program. Okay, so let's just place the cursor on the label. You can also use that on the message, but for now let's have it on our label. Okay, so here we have cursor equals that. Okay, then of course don't forget your comma to separate the cursor and the text. Now let's try to run the program. So if you're going to hover your label widget or place your pointer on your label widget, your cursor becomes circle or dot. I don't know if you can see it on my screen, but my cursor becomes circle. Okay, so you can try it on your own. Next is the font option. Okay, so for the font option, it is used to change the font style, font size, to have bold, italic, and underline. So let's have first the font on the label. So for the font, guys, we're going to place parentheses to group the font styles that we're going to place. So inside the parentheses, guys, we're going to place the font style and the font size. Okay, so we're going to use the Arial Black as the font style and the size will be 20. Now let's try to run this program. So observe, guys, that the font style of the label becomes Arial Black and the size become bigger because the size is 20. Okay, so this is the default. The size of the message, that is the default. We can also place here bold, italic, or underline. So let's try italic. We cannot have bold here because Arial Black is already in bold phase. Okay, so for the bold, italic, and underline, it always starts with a small letter. Okay, so now, guys, this is our output. It becomes italicized. So we can also place underline if you want to underline the text inside the label. This is the label now. The font style is Arial Black. The size is 20. It is being italicized. Then next we have underline to underline the text. We can also have font on the message widget. Now let's try it on message. Okay, so we're going to remove the border. Let's have the default one. Then let's have the font. So for our message, we use as Times New Roman, size 15, and it is being bold. Now let's try to run this program. Oops, we have error. Don't forget to place the comma. I always forget that one. Okay, so now we have the message. Okay, so if you're going to observe, the font style now is Times New Roman. The size became 15 and it is being bold. Next option, we have FG. FG is used to change the font color. So let's change the font color of our label. So we have FG. Same with BG or the background color, we can use the word or the hexa value of the color. Okay, so let's have here color blue again. So here now is the output. Okay, so if you're going to observe, the color of our label is color blue. Next option is the height, and it indicates the vertical dimension of the frame. Okay, so just to set the height. Okay, let's have here height for the label. Let's try 10. So observe guys, it has a distance from the upper part and the lower part of the frame because we added 10 on the height of the text. Okay, so you can also add height for the message. Okay, I think let's remove this one. Next we have the justify. Okay, so justify guys is to set the text alignment. Okay, so we have the value left, center, and the right. So commonly, justify is used for the message because we cannot view this thing on label because label is used to display a single line text. So let's try justify for the message widget. Okay, let's try left. Then observe the output. So this is the left align. We're going to change this into center. This will be the value. The message is being center aligned. Then we also have right align. This will be the output. Okay, the text is being on the right. Next option is the padx. Okay, so padx is used to add space on the left and right part of the text. So let's try to have padx on our widget. But before that, let's observe first the output without padx. This is the text of the label without padx. If you're going to observe, it is near to the border or the label frame. Now, if we're going to use padx, let's try. Then let's have 25. Okay, so let's try to run this program. Now, if you're going to observe, it has a distance on the left and the right part of the text. Okay, so that is the use of padx to add a space on the left and the right part of the text. So we can also have padx on message. So this is the message without padx. Let's try to add padx equals 25 on our message. Observe, it has a distance on its label frame. Aside from padx, we also have pady. Pady is used to add space on the upper and lower part of the text. So this is our output without pady. If you're going to observe, it is near on its upper and lower border. Same with the message. Okay, so let's have pady on both widget. Let's try to add 15. Okay, so let's copy this part and paste it on our message. Let's add 15. So now guys, this is the output. It has a distance on its upper and lower label frame. Same with the message. Okay, so it is used to make your text more readable. Okay, because it added a space for both ends. Next, of course, we have the text option. Okay, so text option is the first thing that we use a while back. It is used to add text on our widget. Next, we have the underline. Underline is used to underline a specific letter or character on your text. Okay, so the counting starts from 0 to n value. Why 0? Because texts are array of characters. So if you say array, the index starts with 0. Okay, so underline option is only used for label. We cannot use underline on message widget. Okay, so let's try first underline on our message widget because we have underline here on our font for the label. So let's try first on message. So we have underline equals 2. It means that it will underline the letter at index 2. So if we run this program, observe, we have an error. Okay, so unknown option underline because you cannot use underline for message widget. So where to use underline? Underline is being used for label widget. Okay, so let's remove this property for our font, then let's add underline. Of course, we cannot see what is being underlined if we have underlined the whole text. Okay, so now let's try to run the program. Now observe, letter E is being underlined. So why E? Because this is index 2. So that's it, guys. We're done with the options of label and message widget. So if this video helps you, don't forget to like, and of course if you want to learn more about computer programming and other computer stuff, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more tutorial videos. Bye!